Come catch these waves. The BrainSurfin podcast. I'm on some other shit, constantly giving content. Other niggas just came and went. My ex bitch was light skinned, like the whip. I switched the tint. Said I got a podcast. This bitch think we fresh and fit. Everything make me stand out. Never needed a handout. Podcast high demand. Wow, they saying I'm the man now. Comments coming in. BrainSurfin say I'm too legit. The BrainSurfin podcast on Instagram. Like a pic. Hey.
Drive any car you want because you're going to be paying for it.
Right.
And I took him up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went out, got a job, and
Exactly.
I drove what I wanted to, and I wanted to go fast.
Right. Even some of that, like at the age when it's time for you to start driving, I'm pretty sure it was easy for you to keep a job and stuff like that because they already kind of helped you build some work ethic.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to. When my kids were small, I try to make sure this little by little stuff to help help to be more responsible and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why not?
No, my kids, I mean, they ended up by the teenage years and stuff setting standards for them, their expectations for themselves beyond what we would have ever
Right.
expected.
See?
And through adulthood, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
And my oldest is working on a doctorate right now. It's like
Okay.
I never could have imagined. I mean, it was a big deal. I went to community college for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I worked my way through to went part time and took 6 years to get a bachelor's.
Right.
And it was kind of a big deal. And my dad had been to college,
Right.
but my mom hadn't. Stuff. But she went to art school to be a fashion designer.
Okay.
That's a good way not to make a living.
Yeah, it's a little hard, yeah.
But, although one of her classmates ended up working for Mattel and designed all of Barbie's clothes.
Oh,
for
damn.
for like 40 years.
Man, it worked out for her.
Yeah, it worked out for
Man.
her. So one person her
Right.
was successful designing doll clothes. But so I mean that was kind of a big deal. So to have both my kids go to college.
Yeah.
And I think it's more expected now than it was.
Yeah.
But my parents talked me into going to a year of community college, and I had already apprenticed in an auto body shop for a year, and so they're like, just humor us.
Right.
And I got there, and there were girls there, and like that. So
That made it a little better.
Yeah, made it better. So so I ended up spending the 2 years at community college. I'm big on community college. I mean, it's just, they get a bad rap, but I got out of there. It was obviously a lot cheaper.
Y'all gonna say a lot less debt and all that. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
so I got out of there debt free, and lived at home. And when I was a teenager, it's like 18, I am out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn 18, and it's like this free room and board stuff ain't ain't that bad.
I got out at 20. Yeah. 19, 20? Something like that, I don't know.
Yeah. But, now I went into the guidance counselor at the community college.
Yeah.
And she says, what do you want to major in? I said, auto body. And she says, you're in the wrong place. It's like, no, my parents talked me into this.
Right.
She looks at me, she says, you look like a business major. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm a business major. And so it ended up working out.
Yeah.
And stuff. But I'll tell you, when I transferred to a 4-year school, I was so far ahead of the kids that had started there as freshmen.
Yeah.
Like I could, had I gone full time, I could have easily graduated in 3.5 years.
Oh, okay.
With a 4-year
Yeah.
degree. And I mean, community college put me that.
Where'd you even go to school for 4 years?
I went to Winona State.
Got you. Okay.
So I ended up getting out of there. Like I say, I dropped out about 6 weeks prior to graduation. I didn't intend to.
Right.
But I thought I could do it like correspondence or
right.
Whatever. This is before online school and stuff. But I thought I could do it, finish up and work. But I had a job that I wanted, which is why I went to. I thought that's why a person goes to school,
right?
To get a job.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much schooling you have and stuff, but like professors and stuff, most of them have never worked outside of school. So like I had 4 classes, and I had been taking night classes because I was working.
Right.
Like that. And go to the 4 professors, and 2 of them are like, "Why would you take a job?" It's like that's what I went to school for. The opportunity came up, and
right.
Whatever. But they just couldn't understand the concept of working. And that's one nice thing with my daughter being a mental health counselor is you have to. That's why she's going for a doctor. She wants to teach.
Yeah.
And you have to work in the field.
Okay.
And stuff like psychology stuff changes, and counseling methods and stuff change off enough that so her professors were like part-time professors, part-time. And that to me that's the way it should have been. It's like, business. I was learning business from people who literally never worked in a business.
Yeah, that's like well, it's a little bit different, I guess. But it's like if you work at a job or whatever, and it's actually way different. But I mean, I still mention it though.
For it.
Yeah. A lot of times I've been at jobs where the managers at the job were raised in areas around just one particular type of people.
Mm-hmm.
But then there'd be a manager in an area where there's like all types of people, and they don't know how to communicate with everyone because they've only been around this one particular type of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it is just, oh my God, watching it, because I'm very well rounded. I can communicate with anybody. It's for me. But everybody ain't like that, though.
Right.
I used to watch them like, it was just like watching just bulls just, it was just the worst thing ever. I'm like, man, it was just the most simple things. But they just couldn't communicate with each other. It was just bad. It's sad to watch, man.
Yeah. Thing, too, that you see is that you don't have to go too far up the food chain where you get management that have really no clue what you do.
You know what I mean?
They think they do.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah.
And
they'll also try to tell you how to do your job, and they've never done it.
They've never done it. Yeah. Yep. And I think that's probably most anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Because you ever heard of the Peter Principle?
I don't think so.
The Peter Principle is a business thing.
Okay.
That people are promoted one step beyond their optimum job level.
Got you.
Because they're doing so well at this level that they get
up.
promoted. The problem with it is you go up the food chain, and your technical skills are less important than your people skills.
Got you.
Don't know you, don't want to talk. So you can be really, really good at what you do.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're going to be really good at the
next level.
At the next level.
Right.
So everybody has a balance between their technical skills and their. When I say technical skills, whatever you do.
Yeah. Hold on, I want to put that term in my phone actually, because I want to. It says that's kind of interesting. Hold on, my bad. You said the Peter Principle.
Yeah.
Look, you hear it with them BrainSurfin boys. Not sponsored by Anchor, but definitely getting held down by them. With Anchor.com, you can record your thoughts, your feelings, and voice them out for the world to hear. The best part about Anchor is you record your content here, and it will be linked to every other major podcast platform. If you're not down with Anchor yet, you're missing out. But like I said, Anchor.com, rock with us. Yeah, locked it in my phone. Make sure I remember that.
But yeah, so most managers, or a lot of them, are truly working. They've been promoted a step beyond where they were really effective.
Right.
And that's why they get stuck there, because you're not really, really good at your next promotion. So.
That reminds me of one of my jobs. I do maintenance at a hotel, janitor at a hotel, and yeah, that term is like perfect for my manager situation. Cause like the main guy left to a different hotel, and then everyone just automatically moved up.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, it's so different. You can tell people don't really they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a disaster. Like everything is going wrong. Even simple stuff like it's so simple, but making sure we have enough like tissue and paper towels, and every month they run out for like 2 weeks before we get more. They don't not do anything. It's crazy.
Which the low man on the totem pole can tell you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that particular thing is very
Dude,
simple.
We're running low.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, how do y'all not know?
Restock before you run out.
It's so weird. Like where they store stuff at, I go on that probably once a day,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see when it's getting low.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
It's confusing as hell.
Yeah. One of the things I was taught is, and I've always done it, management by walking around.
Yeah.
MBWA.
Gotcha.
And too many managers spend time in their office.
Sitting around.
And they'll tell you, you've heard this thing, I have an open door policy. Come on. People don't
Yeah.
come in it. Your door can be as open as you want it to
Yeah.
be. People are not going to.
Yeah. They're more talk amongst each other.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna come to you with anything,
Yeah.
right?
So, thankfully, I don't work in management anymore. Because used to come home, my wife would be like, "How was the daycare today?" But that's one of those things. I mean, when you're young, they try to teach you, try to convince you that you aspire to something.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to know where you're happiest.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
You're best off.
Yep.
And so forth.
For sure.
And it's not necessarily that next level.
Yeah.
I mean, but
yeah, I seen something that and more people should like realize. I think some people want to move up in whatever field they're in because they feel they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're taught that you're supposed to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in reality, like the most important thing in life is like your happiness. Like, if you're happy and like you're good and you're not like struggling, you don't have to be inspired to move up.
Right.
You can be okay being where you're at.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, people want to move up, I think, because of they feel they're supposed to, or because of the appearance or how it looks to other people.
Yep.
It's not that much for themselves.
Yep. Like I say, I started out in auto body, and actually I've worked 3 years into this building.
Oh, okay.
Under old ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership. But my grandpa had gotten me started in it, and his deal is get into the front office, get as fast as you can. And that's why with the business training.
Yeah.
Like that and so like when I was here, I was the assistant manager, and the manager left, and everybody's like, "Well, aren't you going for it?" And things like that. It's like I don't. Yeah, but you're supposed to.
Right.
So I threw my hat in the ring, and they hired this guy from outside, and big idea guy. And what I've learned through my career is I'm not a big idea guy,
Right.
but I can execute.
Right.
You give me your ideas, and I'll figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And that's my niche. That's what I'm best at.
Self-awareness, what a lot of people don't have.
Yeah. So they hired this guy, big idea guy, but not real big on execution.
Right.
And I'm sure you've seen.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
And stuff like that. But I mean, he'd come up with this stuff, and I'd make it work, and the two of us made a ton of money. This is a union shop, whatever, and everybody got along great. We went through a strike together, and everybody stayed happy, and and so forth, and so we were all making good money, and customers were happy, and that was if when you walk out the store, you'll see where it says "Customers for Life" on the wall.
Yep.
Under the ownership that painted that on the wall, they were serious. I mean that was. I don't know about the people that run it now.
Yeah. But
back, this is 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
They were dead serious. I mean, that wasn't just a phrase. That
Right.
Was,
They took it to the heart.
they took it to heart. And I saw Ford Motor Company bend over backwards for loyal customers. And I saw the ownership here bend over backwards.
Right, okay.
I mean, beyond anything I
Yeah.
could have imagined.
Right.
But they'd look at your loyalty.
Right.
You know, are you getting your oil changed here?
Mm-hmm.
Are you just coming here when you have a warranty?
Right.
And stuff. And so, but so I mean, we knew the expectations, and we didn't get jerked around and stuff. And cause a lot of dealerships don't want to have a body shop, and they haven't figured out how to make money with a body shop.
Right.
And stuff. We were told we were there to make money.
Right.
And we pretty much got left alone and stuff. And so it worked. It just flowed. And without me having to have that promotion that everybody thought, you know, and people are like, well, aren't you gonna leave? You got you got passed over. And stuff like that. And somebody said, you know, the next step from your office to that office is out the door. It's like, yeah, you're right. You know, I kind of like it here. So you know, I went from here to Abra as a manager, and it was not pleasant.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a manager anywhere, I don't think.
Yeah, it was outside my comfort zone and stuff, and it was, you know, we went through the 08, 09 recession.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were doing good, profitable and everything else. All of a sudden, it just February of 09, it just like the well dried up. I mean, it was just, and people were still wrecking cars. They just weren't getting them fixed or something. But I mean, we're just standing around looking at each other. I mean, it was just weird. I mean, we had a nice winter, you know, going.
Yeah.
You know, looking forward to a nice spring, and it just dried up to nothing.
Damn.
And it was weird. It was just
February. That's like, well.
Of 09, they had the housing crash.
Right.
So.
Y'all trying to get that time. Because February is like around the time where people tax money dry up too.
Yeah, that's true. But people are still wrecking cars.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things with auto body is people are always going to be wrecking cars.
Is that around the time where the whole what's it called, PPP loan was going on?
Oh, that was 2020.
Oh, it was way more recent. Yeah. I'm tripping. Right.
08, 09 was a housing crisis.
Okay.
And banks had loaned a lot of people money for way more than they could afford. And people were getting into houses that they couldn't afford, and all of a sudden, banks started foreclosing and stuff. Or the government, you know, it's all government-backed loans. The government.
They could never give me like that. I'm not gonna get a loan for something I know I can't keep track, like hold down.
People did though. It was weird. Like I had a.
They want to taste of the good life or something? Like.
Yeah. I had a CSR that was in a house. She said, we knew when we bought it we couldn't afford it. But you got, you know, once you get an eviction notice, the whole process takes like 11 months.
Right.
And so she's like, you know, been in this house, you know, a year for like free without making payments.
But don't she go on super debt also? Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool.
And so, and the house really wasn't practical for her family. And it's like, so you bought a house you couldn't afford that wasn't really practical. And so they
that makes no sense. What the
ended up in
hell?
a rental house that was actually a lot more practical than what they had bought. But I think a lot of people did it. And what was weird is, like, our house dropped huge in value. And people are like, oh, I gotta get out of this house. It's like, why?
Wait, I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, you know, make the payment you agreed to, and just, you know, of course, I've never believed in financing to 100%.
Right.
I always want a little cushion because you don't know what the market.
Yeah.
And like, I have a friend that, you know, got transferred. He's way upside down in his house, and I mean, so what ends up, he was able to roll into the next, but you end up, it's like like buying a car. buy here, pay here
Right.
places where you just kind of roll into, you just go further and further into debt, and they'll just roll one into the next and into the next and stuff. But I didn't want to have to do that. I wanted to be able to, if something happened, be able to sell and walk away without a ton of debt and whatever else.
Why would anybody be cool doing anything that's gonna roll them further and further into debt?
People do it every day.
Man, I don't get that. Being in debt ain't no joke.
No, because
I've
been there.
Yeah, I've had bad credit. Mine wasn't like terrible, but
I think it sucks. I mean,
yeah, I'll never again.
Yeah, I mean,
if anything, I make my payments on this early. Like I'm not anything tied to credit. I'm not playing with it.
No,
I'm not messing. No,
too easy to mess it up. Too easy to, or it's not too easy, but it is. It's not that hard to build.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
And no, I filled up my Mazda at a Quick Trip. This is years ago, and my card was declined. My debit card was declined. My credit card was declined.
Right.
And I'm standing there going, "This is not comfortable. This is not cool."
Yeah.
Call the bank, and they're like, "Well, you're maxed out." It's like, yeah, I know. Cut me a little slack.
Like, share, comment the BrainSurfin podcast on all podcast listening platforms, including YouTube. Come catch these waves.
Like 20 some bucks.
Right.
Come on. And no. It's like, what am I supposed to do? So finally, they made arrangements to pay that. But like, I grabbed a sandwich and pop and stuff, and I couldn't get it.
Right.
Just they pay for the gas. They extend that far. So, and I am there. And it's like, I never want to have to go through this again.
Yeah.
Sending all these customers around and stuff.
It's always for me with most things. Like it just takes one time to like something to happen, and you kind of feel like shit.
Mm-hmm.
After that, like I'm cool. I'm not gonna feel that again. I'm straight. Like that's embarrassing too. I've been there.
Yeah.
Well, I've definitely thinking I got something, but then like a charge to come through, an overdraft or something like that. And I go to get some gas, and it's a line. It's like the client. I'm like, I'm gonna try. My bad. Try again. I'm like, yo, your machine okay? Like.
Yeah, and it's not like you can just put off the purchase.
Right.
But I mean, it's like drink. I drank a lot when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And stuff. I only had to get sick once before I decided. My mom made me get up and clean it up.
Right.
And it's like I'm not the brightest bulb on the tree.
Right.
I don't want to.
What do you had again?
I don't want to do that again. So I continued to drink, but I didn't drink.
Definitely. Yeah.
But some people do.
But see, hearing you talk, it seems very similar with me. As far as like, it doesn't take much to like learn a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you're gonna make the same mistake 2, 3, 4 times.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't see how so many people do.
Yeah, but they do.
Over and over. That shit's crazy to me. Mm-hmm. Man, if it don't work out the first time, I'm not gonna do it 5 more times. I'm cool.
Yep. No, I said I was a claims adjuster, and had a total lot, F-150 total out at they bought it one of these buy here, pay here places. And so I go in there to settle the total loss with the owner of this dealership. And he says, I'm really bummed. That was one of my best sellers. And I said, oh, you sell a lot of F-150s? He says, no, but I sell that one a lot. And it's like, he pulls out this stack. And he had sold that car, probably that truck maybe 20 times. But I mean, if you're an hour late on your payment, they have a GPS on it. They could go and get it.
Yeah.
And they resell it to the next.
Damn.
Person. But this guy was just happy as can be.
Yeah.
In this business that most people wouldn't have wanted, dealing with people that a lot of people wouldn't have wanted to deal with.
Yeah.
And so, but don't forget, this was one of my best sellers. I never realized they just kept reselling the same vehicles over.
Hell no. Yeah.
But yeah, he had a stack of paperwork from every time he resold the same truck.
Oh
And,
my god.
So, but yeah. Hopefully your Focus doesn't have a GPS on a front car carrier.
Man, right now I'm just hoping that they don't take 6, 7 hours to do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
I think I know what's wrong with it. I think already anyway. Like, so I'm kind of surprised they haven't found the issue yet, because it's the
I
clutch.
think they're backed up. I mean, you saw the cars.
Oh, oh yeah. But that the other side is like they're just doing oil changes. I think.
You do, yeah. It's fast lube. They'll do oil changes, tires, wiper blades. That's where I pulled up originally
Oh, okay.
because they'll do wiper blades and
Yeah,
stuff.
that area was definitely. I'm on like the little area next to it, the service area
Yeah.
where it's like they're just like
And
they're trying to see what's wrong with the
they
car.
had me pull over because it would be faster. It's like, I don't know how fast. It doesn't seem to be what time it is. But yeah, it's 10:24 already. But
Yeah, I'll probably chill until like noon, maybe.
I would imagine. I mean, they'll have a diagnostic charge and stuff, but they'll come out
Right.
and tell you before
Yeah.
they spend too much on it.
Right. Yeah, I'm hoping. My cousin actually works here. I almost wanna. I'll probably give him like 30 more minutes, and then maybe have him go go see what's going
My
on.
guess is that they probably haven't looked at it yet,
Yeah, I hope so.
because they won't spend more than probably 15 minutes diagnosing it. And there's only so much. I know with all the electronics and everything else, you got to have fuel and spark and air.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, only so much on a car. And what's funny with all the electronics and stuff, it typically when you have a problem, it's one of the mechanical,
Yeah.
basic mechanical.
And that car is known for having electronic issues. So the radio, like it'll work for a month, and then you might have 2 weeks or a month where it just does not turn on. It just goes.
And they have the radio so built in that
It's all built in
it's
together.
not
Yeah.
like you can go to Best Buy and just
Exactly.
grab it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that part, it's irritating a little bit, but the worst part is the fact that it doesn't really accelerate right now. It just like it.
That to me is a safety issue.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're coming up a ramp or going down a ramp and stuff, you want to be able to hit the gas.
Exactly, and that's why I have not been on any highways for the past week and a half, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
But taking the streets everywhere is a little irritating too, because you'll go like 30 miles per hour, 20 miles per 30. You know what I'm saying? It's like pretty slow.
Yeah.
It makes every trip like 12 minutes, 15 minutes longer than it's supposed to be. Yeah, so.
Now my first lease was a 13 Escape.
Oh, okay.
And that was brand new body style and everything else. And they had a problem with the head overheating or something like that. And so the thing thought it would be overheating when it wasn't. And so it would go into what they call limp mode. And I had had a Dodge that did that.
Right.
What would go into limp mode.
That's kind of like the car kind of dragging, maybe.
And limp mode on the Dodge was like it would just shift into second gear.
Okay.
And that's all it would do. But you could still get up a ramp.
Yeah.
Off the road and so forth.
Right.
Limp mode on that 2013 Escape was like I got stuck in rush hour traffic downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah.
One day. I mean, it just stopped. And people aren't real accommodating when you're trying to push your car.
Oh no, they don't care. No,
center lane. And,
yeah, they don't care at all.
And stuff, but I mean, it just limp mode was like barely.
Barely moving.
You could just barely crawl.
Man.
And stuff, and it did it to me 3 times. And so you call the Ford 800 number and stuff. And the third time, it's like I got the same person again. And she's like, dude, we need to get you a different car.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And
how do these cars, like when cars have, that's more of a serious issue. Like my electrical, cars still can move, so it's not a big deal. But that's more something serious. How do cars get out on the market when they know they have this type of issue? Why wouldn't they want to fix that first?
They do. I mean, they're
That's
just.
weird to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not that weird because if it has one issue that'll keep happening, then we're gonna make more money off of you because of that issue.
Yeah. When I worked here, there was a one technician. There's a separate hoist over here in the corner.
Yeah.
All he did, all day, every day, is head gasket issues with V8 trucks, the 4.6s and the 5.4
Yeah.
V8s. And he had four-post lift. He'd lift the cab up and he'd pull the heads off. And on a good day, you just put head gaskets on, whatever.
Yeah.
But uh, but he'd do anything from just the head gaskets to replacing the engine. And that's all he did. One technician.
Damn.
Just that one problem with Ford.
Yeah.
And,
So there must be a lot of vehicles coming in for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was
Man.
a steady stream. But he had a couple occasions where he took a brand new crate engine straight from Ford, and it had head gasket issues.
Damn.
But that's. But what we found though is if you made it past 90,000 miles without a head gasket issue, that thing would run 200,000 without just trouble-free miles. So if the problem is going to occur, it was going to be within the first 90,000 miles.
Yeah. Okay.
So, which sounds weird because you go to buy an F-150, it's like, yeah, I'm going to buy one with over 100 because I know it's.
Yeah. So you know you're
I
good.
mean, the newer ones have a different set of issues, but various
Right.
issues. But yeah, I've wondered that too. But that's I think why so many people just buy Japanese cars.
Right.
But they're not perfectly trouble-free either. I mean, people think Hondas are just going to run forever. They have idiosyncrasies.
My boy had I'm gonna say a Volvo,
Okay.
and aren't those known for like?
You're almost done. Yes. I know. I'm sorry. I know. Sorry.
Aren't those known for like having real bad engines or something like that? The engines go out.
Yeah, I don't know that much.
Oh, okay.
Volvo.
I remember.
When I think of Volvo, I think for square, boring, and safe.
Yeah, that's what his car looked like. Yes, exactly. I'm like, bro, why'd you get this car? Like, it looks terrible.
You're supposed to be very, very safe.
Why? Just.
Like Volvo invented, is it 3-point seatbelts or airbags or they invented something.
Gotcha.
But they never it was they thought it was so revolutionary and such a safety thing. They never patented it.
Oh, okay.
They gave the technology to the whole. I think it was like back in the 50s, like 3-point seatbelts. Where you had the shoulder belt.
Right. Well, that's good they gave it to everybody. I mean, that's not stuff you probably want to keep to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, they felt that strong that it was such a safety
Yeah.
thing that they just gave away the technology. But so yeah, I think that's. I don't know anymore. I mean, all cars are engineered to collapse and things like
At some
that.
point, yeah.
So I don't know anymore that they're that much safer than anything else. But I don't know. I have a friend whose dad straight off the boat from Sweden and worked for Volvo.
Okay.
And he could make them go fast.
Oh, word?
Oh my gosh.
Upgrade him a little bit?
Yeah, he'd bring stuff over, get stuff, that none of the rest of us could buy. To hot rod Volvos, that you could get off the.
I was gonna say, where do Volvo? Where are those cars made?
Sweden.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So yeah, he was straight from Sweden, come to the United States, but he worked for Volvo.
I don't know much about cars, so I asked you another one. So you said the Chinese cars. What cars?
Chinese or Japanese?
I mean, my bad.
Yeah.
You said Japanese. What cars are from there? Like some popular ones, maybe.
Toyota, Nissan, Mazda, Honda.
Okay, got you.
Truth be told, most of them are made in the U.S. now.
What about Ford?
Ford typically is made in. Yours is probably made in Mexico.
Oh,
It was weird when I worked here. got a new Focus in, had just the smallest little tiny like dirt nib in the paint on the fender, and I just so minute that the vast majority of people wouldn't have even noticed. The customer insisted that we fix it, so I did, and to me, I'd rather have that little dirt nib than have a repainted fender.
Right.
But he insisted, so we did it. So we submit a warranty claim. I get a call from the manager of the plant in Mexico, who spoke English, which is good. He's like, "What are you doing submitting a warranty claim on a paint flaw?" He says, "Our paint doesn't have flaws." It's like, I told him the story. He says, "Yeah, you should have told him to go away." It's like,
Yeah.
we have a sign on the wall that says customers for life. I can't really.
They don't play in Mexico.
but I mean, he was. I mean, we ruined like a record for him. And I mean, so you think about Mexican stuff maybe being slipped. No, they were high quality. So I was here when the Fusions first came out, and if you look at, I don't know, newer ones, the original ones.
I just like those original ones. I just like those.
They were a nice car. I mean, they were when they came out. That was really a nice car. But they had chrome tailpipe tips, and if one of them got hit in the rear, and even if you had a little scratch or whatever, you had to get the whole exhaust system. So Ford would ship these exhaust systems from Mexico just bare, just whatever, and the pretty good chance they'd get scratched on the way.
On the way, yeah.
I think they were on 4 different trucks by the time they arrived here. And,
you have the AAA insurance one?
Yeah.
You're all set.
Okay, thank you. But anyway, so we contacted them. How do we get this here? So they sent one in a crate. They come like in crates with like 20 exhaust systems and stuff.
Right.
So they had this crate. It was about the size of my first apartment. So I had one exhaust system in it, but it didn't have any scratches.
Hey, well, good talking to you. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, Steve.
Pierre.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right.
Once again, as always, I appreciate you stopping by, listening to the BrainSurfin podcast. It's your homeboy Cuffed. Thanks for catching these waves.